And it was such a difficult experience. I think there are probably some people that are listening that can relate to that. But I know I had terrible self-image. I had no self-esteem, low confidence, absolutely a perfectionist, and a people pleaser. And that was just the worst concoction of traits I think you can put together. So I guess that kind of led me to the world of bodybuilding. So again, some of the things that I have done over the course of my adult life, I don't think they were founded in or came from a great place, but I've certainly been able to adopt and bring them into my life or keep them in my life now, but in a much healthier, in a healthier way. So I struggled with an eating disorder for 15 years.
Mm.
Starting around age 14, unfortunately, I had a coach who was very much aesthetic based. He was kind of focused more about how I looked and was comparing my body with some of my, I guess, competitors. And, oh, you should look like this if you want to be that kind of athlete. And I think that just, got some of the, I guess, the cranks turning for, oh, it's all about how I look, not necessarily, about how I am performing. So that kind of was a catalyst, I think, to developing some unhealthy relationships and behaviors around food. And then some past childhood trauma and then teenage trauma through sexual assault. That combination of things, I think, just led me to feeling really out of control. And food was about the only thing that I felt like I had control of, especially in that young age when you're not really set free to be your own person yet. And it just snowballed from there. So, yeah, after several years of doing therapy, so I'm 35 now, I'm very happy to say that I have overcome that eating disorder. I think everybody still struggles with some of those thoughts that might creep in about how you look, your confidence, and how you appear to the outward world. But I think you get so much better at kind of pushing back with a really positive narrative and making sure that your belief systems are I guess, serving you to be the best version of you. So, yeah, I think one of the things that was really interesting you touched on was the unrealistic beauty standards in today's world. And I think that's perpetuated by social media. That's
Yeah.
not something that we had years ago that is now kind of really very much in our faces. And it's hard to, not see that. So I think it takes really intentional effort for us to recognize the weight stigma and the beauty standards, and just remind ourselves that we're not all meant to look like that. We're all meant to be slightly different. Not everybody's body is meant to be the same shape or size. And be really focused on, I guess, some of the other more important values that allow you to feel fulfilled and really have purpose in your life.
Yeah. I have the chills right now because you've hit on so many things that I even identify with a lot of what you're saying. And people will ask me, because we talk about pain to purpose, and there's definitely the pain that I went through with my son's leukemia, and then also my gut issues and my health issues, my rock bottom, that was the soil that grew my passion for my business. And when people ask me, well, do you regret having anything in the past or anything happening? And I usually say no,
Hmm.
because my past made me who I am today. It strengthened muscles in me that I needed for future challenges. And it's
Hmm.
a continual thing. I'm 48 and I'm still growing. I'm still
Hmm.
reinventing myself. I hope that in 3 years I'm not the same as I am today, right? You hope that you're changing. And that is what I'm trying to teach my two daughters and my son, and my daughters have very different strengths and weaknesses, and so we don't compare to each other. We celebrate the strengths and we work on our weaknesses, but
Hmm.
it's I grew up in a household where I felt like I had to be perfect. I had to perform just like you, and get the attention of certain parental figures through doing what they like to do. And so there is that. And then when I started learning about how who I was
Mm.
away from that. That was one step in the growth, on that journey. And so it's just very interesting listening to you. I'm sure a lot of women are just cycling through their mind, their history, and
Mhm.
relating to you. So thank you for sharing that.